what I have here is a retro future gaming system / utilitarian computer that I will be using for some older radios. Fortunately, they need Windows 98 software in order to work, back from the DOS realm. This is a Dell Dimensions Pentium 3 designed for Windows 98. This generation ran IDE drives. This has a CD-ROM drive and floppy drive. There is no SATA support. SATA wasn't even thought of at this time. The RAM, I believe there's one stick of 256 and one of 32. The CD audio coming from the CD player, the actual would pull from a CD format and would input directly into the sound card. This is a relatively new system. These are the PCI slots versus the ISA slots. PCI was automatically addressable, while ISA was not. The processor is down here. It is on a vertical riser card, and it needs lots of cooling. So far I've tested this machine. It does boot. I just now picked up a new hard drive. When by new, I mean one of my friends has helped me out with this. This hard drive is a whopping 20 gigs. That's all this is. It's 20 gigs. And to do a comparison, 20 gigs. Whereas this one here, you can see the sizable difference. This is 250 gigs. While this is using a SATA, it is not compatible with the older IDE systems. This would be the start. This is compatible. Modern technology. They started using these at the end of '98, and mainly when they went to Windows XP, these took off and really have stuck with us. IDE was an incredible drive, and it's been around for years. They dated back, I believe the 486 was using them, I believe the 386 was. Sizes was definitely smaller, 20 gigs versus 250. Big difference, but the software supporting didn't require that much, so we didn't have to worry about increasing the drive space. 20 gigs would fully handle an entire computer and cover everything. Okay, so with the SATA drive, these are completely automatic addressing. They handle themselves. You plug it in, it goes onto the SATA port, done. Whereas the hard drive configuration was set up by these. These are the jumper patterns that fit the back of this. Now this one is configured for, I'm not sure, it was set up for cable select. Now in the cable select, the cable would actually have a reverse set of pins in here, and it would actually do the function to say which was the primary and which was the secondary. These cables are not set up for it whatsoever. So we have to change this pin out according to what these jumpers are saying. Now, when you run a single drive only, you pretty much have to null the jumper, and then this will take it as it's the only drive on the cable, and you put it across pin 6 and 4, which is the bottom row, one over starting. So basically it puts the pin in between the slave and the master. And there we have it. So if you look, the pen is sitting right there between slave and master. So this drive is set to go on its cable only by itself. Now, if we get in here and look at the CD-ROM drive, that is actually set up to actually have another drive with it. So we need to modify that. However, I don't. On these older generation computers, you're pretty much stuck taking the whole entire thing apart. This I don't think is any different. Just the only thing is I don't know how to get that apart. And I don't have a side cover for this either, so I am looking for another case, assuming that I can put that in. So what we can do for the time being, conveniently labeled on the cable, okay, so down here on the headers we have the primary and we have secondary. So that's set on the secondary. Tell you what, since I can't get to it, we'll boot it and see if this board's smart enough to realize that it only has one drive on the cable. Some of the newer generation was able to do that. So now, take the drive. Most of them would mount just upside down, but I think what we're going to do the Dell is known for its proprietary in its casement, which can be a pain, but it can be really cool at the same time. Sometimes it's easier to service them, but a lot of times it makes for a real pain in the butt time. There we go. We have a couple 3.5 inch bays right here that we'll slip it right into. So yes, I am only going to put it in one screw. It's not going anywhere. I'm not getting rough with this machine. This machine I'm being very delicate with. Now when you plug in the cable, it is penned. I'm a little worried about corrosion on that, but we'll see what it does. I think it's just surface stuff. I don't know, we'll see. The red goes towards the power cable. And unlike the SATA, where they have the real fancy pens to work with, these are just the standard 4-pin Molex connector and goes right in. So we have the sound card. They did not have onboard video like we have, so we have an external video card, CD-ROM, 20 gig drive, and a floppy drive. This is also an AT power supply. Okay, so I have everything plugged in. Temporary USB mouse and keyboard, regular VGA port monitor. It's not a Century, but it will work just fine. First power on. Take a listen. Listen to that whine. DVD player does eject. We'll see what we get from the BIOS. This was really popular for its day to have the splash screen when you would turn the system on. Floppy drive seek. And it should give us the fault here. There we go. Check time and date. We recognize the hard drive, so we are talking to it. We have the Toshiba DVD drive. Let's go ahead and enter setup. See if we're able to set the date and time. There we go. Oops. Don't go anywhere. So it is 9:23. It does not like going up. Might just be this keyboard. I have to hold shift for it to recognize. It is using a 4-digit date code. Look at that. The BIOS will actually let me accept it. It has 512 cache RAM, kilobytes, 600 megahertz Pentium 3, has 128 meg stick and 256 meg for a whopping 384 megs of RAM. And that is all we need in order to operate. Let's go ahead and save it. We'll exit. If you hit escape, it will show you the BIOS post. This is doing the memory test. And for front view, we'll turn that off. Should you do the floppy drive sync? See if anything loads. Operating system not found. That's okay, I expected that. I have to get a few more pieces in order to install the OS, but more to come. But right now, the system is working. Thanks for watching.